Hi students, today's topic of discussion is Joule-Thomson experiment, and we are finding Joule-Thomson coefficient and inversion temperature. Okay, when a gas under high pressure, this is high pressure region, is allowed to expand under adiabatic condition. Adiabatic condition means there is no exchange of heat. Okay, through a porous plug into a region of low pressure. This is low pressure region. There occurs a change in temperature. That means there occurs a change in temperature, cooling or warming effect. This phenomenon is termed as Joule-Thomson effect. Most gases gets cooled in Joule-Thomson adiabatic expansion. Okay. Consider a tube made from non-conducting material. This is an insulated material to ensure adiabatic condition. That is, it is fitted with two pistons A and B on its sides and a porous plug in the middle, so that a gas enclosed in it is kept at different temperature. This is high pressure and this is at lower pressure. When the piston is moved towards A dash, it is piston is moving towards this direction slowly, and the V1 of the gas, that is volume of the gas, is changed into V2. That is, volume of the gas is forced slowly through the plug into the outer compartment, and this allowed to expand to a volume V2 by moving the piston B towards outward at the lower pressure P2. That is, the gas under high pressure is allowed to expand under adiabatic condition through a porous plug into a region of low pressure. That is, work done on the system here work is done on the system at the piston A. At piston A, it is equal to what? Plus P1 V1. That is, P1 is the pressure of the gas here. That is, P1 means high pressure and V1 volume of the gas. And the work done by the system is taken as a negative quantity, and work is done by the system at the piston B. Work done by the system at piston B equal to minus P2 V2. Okay. The net work involved, net work done is equal to W is equal to P1 V1 minus P2 V2. That is, the change in internal energy in this process be from U1 to U2. Then delta U is equal to what? U2 minus U1. Delta U is equal to U2 minus U1. Then from first law, since the process is conducted under adiabatic condition, that means what? Q is equal to 0. For an adiabatic condition, Q is equal to 0. From the first law, we can write it as delta U is equal to Q plus W. Delta U means U2 minus U1 is equal to Q0 plus work done here is, net work done is P1 V1 minus P2 V2. Okay. Can rewrite it as, it is U2 plus P2 V2 equal to U1 plus P1 V1. What is this? U plus PV means enthalpy. That is H2 is equal to here H1 enthalpy. H2 minus H1. That is delta H is equal to 0. Okay. It is during Joule-Thomson adiabatic expansion of a real gas. The enthalpy remains constant while the internal energy changes. That is, it is an isenthalpic process. This Joule-Thomson effect is an isenthalpic process. Enthalpy remains constant throughout the process, but internal energy changes. Okay. We can conclude that Joule-Thomson effect is an isenthalpic process. Isenthalpic process. Here we are introducing a new term. This is an important term with respect to Joule-Thomson effect. That is Joule-Thomson coefficient. Joule-Thomson coefficient. Joule-Thomson coefficient. It is mu J T. It is denoted as mu Jt. Mu Jt equal to dou T by dou P H. Joule-Thomson coefficient is defined as the temperature change in degrees experienced by a gas in expansion per unit pressure drop at constant enthalpy. That is, during this process, that is Joule-Thomson effect, enthalpy remains constant. That is, it is an isenthalpic process. Okay. Hence, Joule-Thomson coefficient may be defined as the temperature change in degree. Dou T, that is temperature change in degrees experienced by a gas in expansion per unit pressure at constant enthalpy. Okay. It's very important, that is Joule-Thomson coefficient. Since pressure obviously decreases, that is, since pressure is decreasing, that is, in this Joule-Thomson effect, the high pressure, when a gas under high pressure is allowed to expand under adiabatic condition through a porous plug into a region of low pressure. That is, here pressure is decreasing. Okay. dt is negative. That is, dt is negative means here temperature is decreasing. Then mu Jt, the value of mu Jt, that is Joule-Thomson coefficient, is negative, positive. That is positive when dt is negative. When temperature decreases, dt, value of dt is negative, and thus the mu Jt, the value of Joule-Thomson coefficient, is taken as a positive quantity, and here cooling is observed in this process. That is, cooling is observed in this process. When mu Jt, the value of Joule-Thomson coefficient, is negative, that is dt is positive. When the temperature increases, the dt is positive, hence the value of mu Jt, that is Joule-Thomson coefficient, is taken as a negative quantity. And here what is happening? Heating is observed in the process. Heating is observed in this process. Now next, third condition, that is mu Jt is equal to 0. That is dt is equal to 0 then we can say neither cooling nor heating. That is, there is no heating effect or cooling effect. It is for an ideal gas, Joule-Thomson effect is 0. It is mu Jt, the Joule-Thomson coefficient for an ideal gas is 0. We can conclude that this is neither heating or cooling. There is no heating effect and cooling effect. Then we can conclude that for an ideal gas, mu Jt, that is Joule-Thomson coefficient is 0 for an ideal gas. Okay. And this point is called inversion point. The temperature at which the Joule-Thomson coefficient equal to 0. That is, the temperature at which the Joule-Thomson coefficient dou T by dou pH of a gas becomes 0 is known as inversion temperature. We can define like this also. A gas gets cooled by Joule-Thomson adiabatic expansion only if its temperature is below a certain temperature. That is, this temperature is called inversion temperature, or else we can define like this. That is, it is the temperature at which the Joule-Thomson coefficient mu Jt is given by dou T by dou pH is 0. That is, at inversion temperature, at inversion temperature, the value of Joule-Thomson coefficient is equal to 0. And below this inversion temperature, the value of mu Jt is positive, and above this inversion temperature, above the inversion temperature, the value of mu Jt equal to negative. Okay, clear? Let us conclude. Let us conclude the topic. That is inversion temperature, Ti. It is denoted as Ti. Is the temperature, that is characteristics of each gas at which the gas gets neither cooled nor warmed. And below this temperature, below inversion temperature, the gas gets cooled, and above which it gets warmed. That is, above the inversion temperature, it gets warmed upon Joule-Thomson adiabatic expansion. Okay. That is, today we had discussed the two important points, that is Joule-Thomson coefficient and inversion temperature. Joule-Thomson coefficient is dou T by dou P at constant enthalpy, at constant H. That is, Joule-Thomson coefficient may be defined as a temperature change in degrees experienced by a gas in expansion per unit pressure drop at constant enthalpy. That is, if mu Jt, the value of mu Jt is positive when temperature decreases, hence it is a cooling effect is observed in the process. And if mu Jt is negative, when temperature increases, then heating effect is observed in this process. If mu Jt is equal to 0, that is dT, there is no change in temperature for such a process, there is neither cooling or heating effect is observed. That is, there is no heating or cooling effect. And finally, the inversion temperature, that is, below this inversion temperature, the gas observed cooling effect, and above the inversion temperature, gas observed heating effect. Okay, and at inversion temperature, there is no heating or cooling effect. That is, mu Jt is equal to 0 at inversion temperature. Okay, with this, we are concluding our topic, and let us wind up this section. Thank you.